Congressman Allen West.
How you doing, Michael?
I'm great, sir. How are you? I'm looking forward to you being in Houston on Monday.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this get a chance to come back out there. I was last out there back in 2010, and some great people, great supporters, and they wanted me to come back, and so I'm honored to be there.
A lot has happened since then. A University of Minnesota Smart Politics, University of Minnesota Smart Politics, done a study, and according to them, you have been interviewed or mentioned in more news programs than any other freshman in Congress. According to them, you've been mentioned more than any other freshman congressman on Fox, CBS, and NPR. You are all the buzz, and you are a constant source of conversation on the Michael Berry Show. And I have to tell you, I get more emails about you than any other member of Congress. It's amazing. I mean, people just they admire you. They admire the boldness to say the things you've done. There's a great clip by that I pulled out this morning thinking about talking to you, Congressman Peter King.
To me, it's a badge of honor to be attacked by CARE, which was named as a unindicted co-conspirator in a major terrorist financing case.
CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, has come after nobody as hard as they've come after you. You wear that as a badge of honor?
Well, I absolutely do, because obviously they do see me as a threat, someone that has a voice that's resonating, and clearly understands who they are and has identified them. As a matter of fact, the head of CARE South Florida sent a letter to our office here telling me that I had to distance myself from certain individuals, and I sent him back a one-word response, and it was the same response that was sent to the Germans back at the Battle of Bastogne by the 101st Commander, and that was nuts, because I'm not looking to back down, and as long as I know I'm standing on truth and principle, I'm going to continue to stand.
And I think a lot of folks admire the fact that in the face of that, and as a politician who's on the ballot every 2 years, you have not run from adversity. Congressman West will be here on Monday at my friend Paul Murphy's home. If you want to find out more about that event, it's just $150. I have to tell you, I think you're doing this too cheap.
Well, look, I'm not, out there trying to, be like the president and hang out with these Martha's Vineyard type of people too often. It's important to be able to take your message to everyday Americans, and I'm not trying to go around and think very highly of myself. Michael, it's such a privilege and an honor to be in a position where you can serve this country as I did in uniform. Now I get to do it in a suit and tie, and one of the great institutions that make America exceptionally unique, and that's our House of Representatives. So I just see this as a great opportunity to take our very strong constitutional conservative message to the great people out there in Houston, Texas, because we are in a serious fight for the future and the legacy of this great nation, and the ideological chasm that has been developed in the United States of America has to be closed, and we have to get this country back to the fundamental values that make it great.
The website is gowest2012.com, gowest2012.com if you want to find out about that event and if you want to meet Congressman Green Monday evening. And you'll be with us for a full hour on Monday. Mm-hmm. So I won't get into your fascinating background and some of the very interesting things about your life that I want to explore on Monday. But
Sure.
For now, I want to encourage people to get involved and come out and meet you Monday at that fundraiser. So that's gowest2012.com. One of the issues that unfortunately hovers around our political process, because the left uses it, as you know better than I do, as a tool to motivate and to divide, is race.
Yes.
To what extent Deborah Wasserman Schultz has the head of the DNC and a congressman, has attacked you so viciously? To what extent do you think these attacks are because it is so painful for them that you are not only incredibly conservative and incredibly talented in the way you deliver the conservative message, but you're black, and they can't have that?
Well, I think it's a threat to the liberal social welfare policies and how they have failed in the black community. I was brought up in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, the same neighborhood Dr. King grew up in. My elementary school was right across from Ebenezer Baptist Church. So for them to have someone such as myself to has never been, played the victim card, never been dependent upon government. My parents were never dependent upon government. They raised, us to, individual responsibility and accountability, faith, family, God, good, strong, conservative principles and values. And to have me in a position where my voice is resonating and like you said, that Minnesota University study, that's threatening to them, especially when you consider the fact that in the black community now, Michael, we have 16.7% unemployment. You have 20% unemployment for black adult males. You have 50% unemployment for black teenagers. Obviously, the hope and change rhetoric of President Obama and that which the Democrats have always offered to the black community is failing. And they don't want to have someone that reflects a different perspective that is contrary to what they want to continue to have. And that's what I bring to the table.
Your event on Monday night here in Houston, you're going to give a speech, and then it's a meet and greet after that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to, as you say, give people an update as far as what's going on from the perch up here in Washington, D.C., and tell them how we need them to get engaged. Plato had a great quote, "Those who refuse to participate in politics shall be governed by their inferiors." And we cannot continue in this country to be governed by inferior leadership. We have to have leadership that wants to promote and set the conditions for our private sector and our free market and free enterprise solutions so that we can have long-term sustainable economic and job growth, and not the Band-Aids that we see continually to come out of Washington, D.C., and no more stimulus gimmicks. We got to get back to blocking and tackling as far as the right type of economic principles.
I have about a minute. Congressman Allen West is our guest, and we'll be in Houston on Monday. You can find out more at gowest2012.com. I wanted to ask you the logistics, and if you could in about a minute or so, of your next election. The Democrats have made very clear they intend to knock you out.
Yeah.
What are you expecting by way of the candidates they'll put against you and how much you're going to need to raise?
Well, they have two people that are very far left, off-the-chart liberals that they're not bringing anything different to the table than what you hear every day on MSNBC. So I'm not concerned about that. I am their number one target. The DCCC has made that quite clear because of the voice and because our message is resonating. They have to take me out. And in 2010, they did not know too much about me, but we raised $6.4 million, and so we figure we'll raise that, maybe a little bit more, because it's a presidential election cycle, and Florida is an important state, and this is an important district in South Florida that the president does not want to lose, so I'm sure he'll be throwing his resources down there as well.
Lieutenant Colonel Allen West, can you hold with me for just a moment?
Sure.
All right, he will be in Houston on Monday. $150 per person, $250 per couple. Find out more at gowest2012.com. gowest2012.com. Lots more Michael Berry Show coming up.
Learning through conversation on The Michael Berry Show.